There's thousands of people each year going from renter to homeowner. We're going to show you step by step exactly how you can do that next. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Elite Realty Group podcast. It's Mike and Dave Elkins with Elite Realty Group in Morristown, Tennessee. And today we're giving you the step-by-step how to go from renter to homeowner. How you doing, my man?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to get this information out there because I think that it's what maybe we would say a false narrative that people think they can never get out of the never-ending rent cycle.
Yeah, and this is actually one of those feel-good topics, too.
It's a good thing to do.
It's a feel-good topic.
It's a good thing to do. As I said in the opening, there's thousands of people that do this every year.
Yeah.
So it's not that we're getting ready to try to tell you something that is
impossible.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally 100% able to be done. There's some steps you need to know. There's some tips and tricks that maybe will be able to help you out, and hopefully that's what we are able to give to the people today. It's an exciting thing to think about. Hey, I could potentially in 2024 or 25, whenever you're watching this video, I could go from a renter to a homeowner. A lot of people think that's something that's so far out of reach. Yet I think it's closer to a lot of people than what they really, really think that it is.
Yeah.
So going from renter to homeowner, the transitioning from that can be an exciting thing, but also it could be a very daunting task also.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's super easy to do. You know, you have to have things line up.
No doubt.
To do those things.
No doubt. And hopefully we give the story, we give the outline, we give the tips and the tricks today of exactly what you need to do to go from renter to homeowner. So you do this all the time, my man. You help people, you list real estate, you help people buy real estate. Any kind of stories that you got, you could share off the top.
Tons of stories.
Maybe about somebody who's took this path and they're getting ready to do what these people's getting ready to do.
Yeah. So one of my favorite all-time renter to homeowner stories is the elderly couple that I had. They'd been renting for like the last 18 years.
Yeah, this one's cool.
Same place. The place had a lot of problems with it.
Sure.
A lot of mold problems and stuff. But, you know, that's just what they thought they could afford. They realized that they could actually buy a house.
Right.
So after we talked to lenders, got everything squared away with them, got their credit right, they actually was able to buy a house. They was actually in their 70s.
So, I mean,
and bought their first house.
That's what I'm saying. Like, people that think that we can't do this, like I can't do this.
Yeah, they had went a long time thinking, I just can't buy a house. Can't buy a house. Can't buy a house. Got to rent.
And it's literally just because somebody didn't sit down with them and say, look, here's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Here's the steps that it is. Now, you've got, like you said, a lot of factors that I think we'll get into today that go into the step from renter to homeowner.
Yeah.
But the limitations, I think, on this program is the limitations you put on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the limitations that I think are going to be on the program, because it may not be tomorrow, but everybody, literally everybody that's renting, I don't care about your credit. I don't care about your financial situation.
Right.
Now, again, those things got to line up, so don't take that out of context. But putting things in place in the right order, everybody can go from renter to homeowner.
Yes.
You just got to put the things in the right order.
We say it all the time. If you're going to go somewhere, you got to have a plan to get there.
Right.
This is the plan.
I agree. So when, a lot of people are wanting to go take this journey, renter to homeowner, but they feel like they're in a dilemma. Like, you know what I mean? They feel like they can't. Like, there's no way this is going to be able to happen for me. I'm not going to be able to do that. The limitations that people put on themselves is, I think, one of the biggest challenges of getting it done.
Mm-hmm.
Like what you said, your people in the 70s, they thought, I can't buy a house. Right. I just can't do it. So those challenges that people put on themselves. You also have the challenges that renting presents. to a lot of people that I don't have the credit, I don't have the income, I don't have those things that's in line.
Mm-hmm.
Those all have to line up. We got to get going in the right direction. Those things have to happen. But it's an awesome thing when you put them in line and you start seeing the benefits, the fruit, so to say, of your labor of getting everything lined up in the right place at the right time. And you see yourself start taking this journey as far as going from renting to homeowner.
Right.
It's a really good thing. It's a very good feeling.
Yes.
That I'm now in control. And you're in control because you decided to take control.
Mm-hmm.
You looked at your situation. You said, hey, I'm not wanting to continue for the rest of my life renting because there are reasons why owning a home is a good thing.
Yeah.
The tough parts about renting that it presents to people is you're always at somebody else's control.
Mm-hmm.
It's always somebody else telling you, can you paint? Can you have an animal? Can you do this?
Right.
Can you change that? Can you do that? You're under that. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge because sometimes people may walk in and say, you know what? 2 months from now, 30 days from now, the rent's going up.
Right.
So you want to pay more?
Or we've sold the house. We've sold this complex.
I know.
And somebody else is buying it, and you're going to be out of a house.
Those are things that being a renter presents a challenge. Yeah. That being a homeowner, you're in 100% control of that. So there are challenges with renting. There's challenges from getting there, but we're going to get you through that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, for a minute, let's explore for just a second how and why people want to go from renting to homeowning because of the financial challenges. Not always. Now, we're going to go deep in this in a minute, but not always is it the best financial thing to rent.
No.
But let's discuss how that renting is literally not the best long-term investment. Why do we say that?
Well, and we always say this with an asterisk, okay? Because
that's why I'm saying we're going to go deep.
There's a lot of times that, us as realtors, we need to admit that sometimes it is in people's best financial decision or whatever.
It's their best interest.
Their best interest that they actually would, need to rent.
No doubt.
Having said that, it's never, I don't think it's ever going to be the best long-term decision to rent forever, because you're essentially, now we all understand that you have to have somewhere to live. Okay.
Absolutely.
So if you have to rent to have somewhere to live, we understand that.
Absolutely.
But we're talking about to be able to build your financial wealth. The best thing you can do is to buy a house.
There's no doubt.
Because that rent money, that's money that you are spending. Now, yes, you're getting a place to live for that.
Mm-hmm.
But that money that's money that you're spending out that you will never get a return on.
I agree.
You're giving that money away. We always say, you've heard realtors say this, but you're paying somebody else's mortgage. That's essentially what you're doing.
Exactly.
You could be paying your own because, again, we've talked about this before. Rent, man, has went up drastically.
Big time.
You know what I mean? That's across the country.
People don't see that.
Yeah.
Everybody, we get hit back all the time on like houses are so high.
Yeah.
Everything's high, first of all.
Everything's high.
But so's rent.
Yeah.
When's the last time you went and tried to rent a 1,500 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house?
Right.
In Morristown, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Go try that one.
Yeah.
But there's going to be people watching this in Los Angeles, California. Let's go rent that there.
Yeah.
Let's go rent this in Boston, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Florida. Let's go try that there.
Right.
Rent is high everywhere.
Rent is high, and here's the kicker about rent. No matter what interest rates does, okay?
Right.
Interest rates, people are saying are high right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the interest is on rent?
There you go.
100%.
I'm with you on this. I'm with you, and that I think is one of the reasons people want to go from a renter to a homeowner is because your mortgage payments, that's a wise investment. Because let's play the game, and they're not here anymore, but we just came through rates in the 8s, okay? People's like, holy cow, 8% interest. Yeah, 8% interest. Your rent's 100, okay? There's a difference in that. There's a difference there. And again, we're going to get hit on this, and that's okay. It's still cheaper than rent. Right. That interest, you can fight all you want to. You can give me every excuse in the world. The rent interest is higher than the purchase interest. Also, the benefits of mortgage payments versus a rent payment. They're still both a payment. They're still going out.
Right.
You get a place to live on both of them. All of that, let's assume all of that's equal. Okay. Take the interest and you can have your 100% rent interest.
Right.
In a mortgage that's yours, you're paying down a mortgage and the value of a home is increasing.
Yeah.
You're gaining, building, whatever you want to call it, your net worth.
Yes.
That's why people want to take this step. Going from a renter to a homeowner is because that is a wise investment.
Yes.
For you to be able to do for yourself.
And again, like you said, we're going to get hit on this, but don't take what we're saying out of context in a way that, yes, sometimes you need to rent.
There's no doubt.
Sometimes you need to.
No
we
doubt.
Totally understand.
Yes, 100%.
But it's not smart to rent forever.
Can we talk about just for a moment? We didn't plan this one. When we say it might be smart for you to rent,
yeah,
who are we talking to when we say that?
Well, I mean, people who don't know, like if you're not sure of where you're going to be at in, say you're coming to our area. If you don't know where you want to be at, might be smart for you to rent for a while before you just come in and buy a house.
I'm with you on this.
That's probably smart.
I'm with you on this.
If you're job transferring somewhere,
I'm with you,
and you're going to be there short term, you don't really want to go there and buy a house. You know, what I mean? If you're going to be there for a year, probably is not smart for you to go in and buy a house at that point.
Right.
If you know you're going to be somewhere 2, 3, 5 years, that makes a lot of sense to go ahead and purchase at that time because again. That house is going to gain value while you're there.
I'm with you on this. I'm going to throw in a couple other things in there just quickly. I think it's smart for you to rent. We have said many times on different shows we've done, you don't want to be house poor.
Absolutely.
Okay. And by what we're saying when we say that is you don't want your mortgage payment take up every dollar that you have. And if you do correctly what we're talking about today, that should never happen to you. But you don't want your mortgage payment to take up, you can't even go have you a donut, okay? Right. You don't want to be house poor.
No more family vacations.
Yeah.
No more kids' birthday parties.
No
more
stress out the roof.
Christmas presents, yes.
You don't want that to happen to you. So sometimes maybe you've been in a long-term rent, a long-term lease. You've been there a long time. You're renting that 1,500 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house because your landlord ain't paying attention.
Right.
You're renting that for $450 a month. Well, you ain't gonna go buy that for $450 a month.
No,
that might be smart. That's an independent decision each person has to make for their own selves. But let's put it on record. Here's a realtor sitting in a chair doing a podcast from Morristown, Tennessee, saying sometimes it is smarter for you to rent than buy. It's independent for each person.
Yes, absolutely.
You got to look at that.
Absolutely.
So when we're transitioning, as far as going from renter to homeowner, let's look at some things, okay? There is some things we got to understand, okay? This kind of leads into, I just said what I led into, being house poor, okay? The first thing you got to do in looking at this is you got to evaluate your finances, okay? We got to look at it and say, okay, am I paying anything right now? You might be living at home. You might be living with somebody else.
Right.
You're not paying anything for housing expenses. There's more to this thing as far as expenses go than your mortgage payment.
Yeah, there's a whole lot more that goes into it.
So you got to evaluate your finances.
Yeah.
That's something you got to look at and say, okay, I can pay X amount of dollars in housing expenses. That goes beyond your mortgage payment. But I can pay X amount of dollars each month in housing expenses. I think that's the first thing you got to look at.
Right.
You got to evaluate that. Say, can I do it? Okay. Can I do it? Now, when you're looking at this, I think it's super important for not only you to look at it. I think you got to look at it in depth and say, I can pay $1,200 a month. I think you need to look at it that in depth.
Yeah.
But don't just look at, this is where I think people mess up sometimes going from these renter to homeowners or maybe even a move up home buyer, but we're talking about renter to homeowner today. I think they neglect to look at their overall financial position.
Yeah.
They look at just, well, I can afford a $1,200, a $1,500, a $2,000 a month mortgage payment. And they don't take into consideration what you just said. I want to go on a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I need a new car.
Right.
I've got children. I've got expenses. I've got school. I've got this. I think you need to evaluate your entire financial position.
Yes.
That's where you start.
You got to have a plan.
You got to.
You got to have a plan. You got to budget for that plan.
Sure.
You got to save you up a little bit of money because,
right.
again, realistically, you're going to have. Some people call it an emergency fund, nest egg, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But again, when you own this house now,
right.
you own this house.
Right.
Something goes wrong with the house, you know who's going to fix it? You are.
Well, no, there's no doubt.
Heat pump goes out, that's on you. You ain't going to call your landlord.
Yeah.
You know, if we've had cold temperatures here.
Mm-hmm.
Your water line bust, you ain't calling the landlord.
Nope.
You got to call the plumber.
Yep.
You got to pay for those repairs. So you got to have yourself a little bit of money, you know, and again, don't take this out of context. You don't have to have $10,000 sitting to the side.
No.
But you have to have some money that if something comes up, you have to be able to take over and get those things fixed. You can't neglect the house. You can't just bail out and call a landlord.
No. And I think that's part of, again, understanding the financial commitment that it takes to be a homeowner.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit. So you got to evaluate it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about, I'm going to become a homeowner, I'm now going to become a homeowner. We get this question a lot, and I'm going to give you a couple, so we'll go from here. How much money do I need as a down payment on my house? Talk about to people the different types of mortgages, specifically the different types of mortgages and potentially the different types of down payments that people are sitting out there thinking, I got to have 20% down on a $300,000 house. I got to save $60,000.
Right.
I'll never buy a house.
Never buy a house.
Talk about that.
Yeah. Well, that's, again, misperception.
Sure.
There are 100% loans.
Mm-hmm.
So literally you have no money down out of your pocket to buy that house. Now, what comes in with that, though? That sounds good in theory. And
sure.
That is true. You can get a no money down loan. But you're going to have an appraisal, okay?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So those are going to vary anywhere from $500 to $700.
Right.
Okay, you got to have home inspections. You don't have to. Highly recommend having a home inspection again. $500 to $800.
Right.
You could have to have. So you could literally get into a house for $1,000. $1,200 is what you'd be out of your pocket.
Right.
To get into that house.
I'm with you.
But again, so that's a 100% USDA loan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's FHA loans, 3.5% down.
Sure.
Now, there's conventional loans.
Sure.
Those are the ones you see a lot of times that are 20%.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also, okay, check with banks, check with credit unions. We have a credit union here in town. They do 5%.
Right.
Okay. 5% conventional loans.
Sure.
So forget what you hear a lot of times about having to have 10, 20% down.
Mm-hmm.
And have a conversation with what you would consider an expert in that field.
Yes.
Okay.
That's fact.
That's fact.
That's fact.
That's talk to a realtor, talk to a lender, talk to those people and get real facts to find out what you need.
Sure.
Because each person, again, could be different.
I'm with you. And I think that is a part and a piece that is one of the biggest misconceptions of buying a house is I got to have this. Yeah. I got to have this money saved down. Well, again, we've talked on previous podcasts, average home price, $300,000. I need 20%. I got to have $60,000. People's like, I don't have it. So it's out of reach for me. I'm not going to be able to do that. So we've got that now out of the way.
Yeah. And one more. I want to talk about one more.
Sure.
I don't want to leave this out. But the VA loan. Okay.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of people.
Yes.
Who have took from their lives to serve this country.
Absolutely.
And to help us be able to have our lives.
Absolutely.
So there's VA loans. You'd be surprised how many veterans, active military people who don't even know that's an option.
I know.
So if you're a veteran of this country, if you are serving this country, there is loans specifically for you.
No doubt.
So those are 100%.
Yes.
Okay. Again, no money out of your pocket.
Right.
So again, have conversations, ask questions. That's how you learn.
I agree. So the loan process, the savings part of it is not necessarily what people think it is. It's not, again, that you got to have that 20% down.
No.
You got to just explore your options. The other big part of it, I think, is that people want to know is the credit score portion.
True.
So talk to us about how a credit score kind of affects how all of this comes into play.
Yeah. So, I mean, credit, a lot of people focus specifically on credit score, and that is a portion of the pie.
I'm with you.
Okay. So, credit scores is important.
Sure.
Okay. Most are going to tell you anywhere from a 580 to a 640. You can definitely probably buy a house.
Right.
Anything over that, just, it's a bonus.
Right.
It's a bonus. But again, it's a portion of the whole piece of the puzzle, because not only is credit score a huge factor, your debt to income. Okay.
I think that's huge.
That's one of the biggest ones that people don't even talk about.
Right.
You can have an 850 credit score if
Sure.
that's even possible. I don't know. You can have an 800 credit score.
Right.
But you've got a $1,500 car payment. You've got all these other doctor bills, all this other stuff that goes on there.
No extra.
You have no extra money.
Yes.
So credit score, while it is important, it's not the only key factor in the whole process.
I agree. That's why I want to talk about that, because we get that all the time. What kind of credit score do I got to have to? Well, there's more to it. There's literally more to it than just the credit score as far as that goes. Let's talk, though, just a little bit about people who may not have that credit score.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, they know I got bad credit. Can I still go from a renter to a homeowner? What do you say to somebody who says that?
If you want to.
There you go.
If you want to, you can.
Sure.
Because again, it's about having a plan, knowing how to attack that, whatever you're going to go after, and come up with yourself a plan. Because again, we've seen people, man, who really, we've had lenders help people that, need 40, 50 points to get themselves up into that where they can do that.
Right.
And it's little details that they can do. They can pay this thing off. It's going to shoot their score up to here. Little things they can call, argue to get off their credit report.
Right.
There's things that can be done. But again, a lot of times we sit back and we don't know. We just think it's impossible, but we won't call nobody to find out, can I do it?
Right.
If you want to do it, we have the old saying is, if you want to do something bad enough, you'll find a way.
That's right.
That's the truth here too.
No
doubt. If you want to buy a house, you'll find a way to do it.
Yes.
Call people who know the people that they need to put you in to talk to.
Sure.
Those people can help you. If you want to help yourself, they can help you.
Sure. Yeah. So that's a perfect segue into talking about the renter to homeowner program that we have.
Yeah.
Okay. We are able to each year help a lot of people that are taking that step from renter to homeowner. Now, again, I'm going to say this. We're in Morristown, Tennessee. I don't care where you are watching this video, listening to this podcast, whatever it is. You reach out to us.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll put you in contact with the right people in your particular area.
Right.
Okay. We're a member of a nationwide network of realtors that we can help you. So it doesn't matter where you are. What I'm getting ready to tell you, these next steps, we told you we're going to give you these steps that you need to do to go from this. Well, don't matter where you're watching from. If you're in Morristown, surrounding areas, you call us.
Yeah.
You're anywhere else, you call us. We'll put you in contact with the right people.
Right.
Let's talk about this renter to homeowner program, okay? It's literally a program we've sat down and looked at it and said, here are the steps that people have to do to go from renter to homeowner. A lot of times in life, who you know is a big deal. Okay, now I'm not saying we're nobody, so don't blow that out of context.
Right.
But we know the people in this industry that is able to take you. You just mentioned credit score. You just mentioned debt to income. You just mentioned repairing that credit and those kind of things. People now sitting on there watching this podcast, listening to it, saying, who are those people?
Yeah.
Okay. So step number one is, when you look at our program, get in contact with us.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to put a website on the screen for you. That's a renter to homeowner program website. Go visit that website, fill out the information on it. We're going to connect with you and set all of this up.
Yeah.
So step one, literally, in going to renter to a homeowner, is connect with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's easy. That's easy, man.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. When you connect with us, okay, we're going to literally have a personalized consultation with you.
Right.
Where we can do that on the phone. We would like to do it in person just because we'd like to meet you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, again, for these local people,
Yeah.
yeah, we'd love for you to come into the office, sit down, we have a, cup of coffee, have a conversation.
That's what I was going to tell them. So when we say, it's where people get uptight. Okay.
Yeah.
When we say, call us, we're going to have a personalized consultation. When we're taking people from a renter to a homeowner and we're having this personalized conversation, we're not going to be asking them for any money.
No.
We're not going to be asking them for their firstborn child.
Right.
We're not going to be fighting them in the conference room.
Yeah, that's the lender's job.
Tell these people, yeah, no doubt. Tell these people what happens in that personalized consultation. What are we doing
It's
here?
simply a conversation. Like you said, it's what are your, like, I want to know if you're having that consultation with me. I want to know kind of like, what's your situation right now?
What's going on?
Yeah, like, you got to find out some things. Are you renting because you just moved here? You know what I mean? So let's just find out why you're at the situation that you're in.
Right.
Let's figure out where you want to go in that. You know what I mean? Like, what's your out? How are you going to get out of that rent?
Right.
You know what I mean? So are you wanting to be in a certain area? Blah, blah, blah. You need so many bedrooms, school districts. I'm just trying to find out some information because I always take it as we're going to do it.
Right.
We're not coming here just wishful thinking.
Oh, no.
We're going to make this happen.
It's a process.
It's a process. It's not going to snap your fingers and tomorrow you're going to be buying a house.
Exactly.
It's a process. It's a journey that a lot of people are going to go on with you.
No doubt.
So, but again, we have to have a plan. We have to have a plan of attack. So it's just, again, a conversation. That's all it is. It's simply a conversation.
And from that conversation, we learn things about you. We get your plan. We see what you're wanting to do and you're accomplished. Then the people who are literally going to help us pull this off, because we don't loan money. Okay. We don't access your credit report, us personally. We don't know your debt to income. We don't know that info.
Right.
But we're able to, at that point, from the personalized consultation we have with you, get you in contact with those people. Now, this to me is one of the most critical points of going from a renter to a homeowner, because I'm just going to say it. You mentioned lenders a minute ago. There are people out there who lend money all over the world, all over the country. There's people who lend money. Then there are those people who lend money, but they care about what's going on too. Right. Okay? There's a difference there. I'm sorry. There's a difference there. Those people who care about what's going on, they are those people who we're going to put you in contact with, and they're going to probably take this a little bit further, okay? When you go to the personal consultation with us, we're then able to get your plan. We see what you're going to do. We're able to put you in connection with the right people who's going to get you the money. Right. We got to get the money. Right. We're going to put you in connection with those people. They're also going to be those people who look at your financial situation and say, okay, right at the moment, your credit score is a little bit off. Yeah. But this is where I say there's people who lend money and there's people who lend money and they care. Those people who care are going to look back at you and go, right at this moment, Dave, your credit score is off. Yeah. However, looking at this through my credit simulator or whatever program it is that they use, if we do this, your credit score now is going to get you to where you can get this type of loan with this money down. Maybe it's no money down, but you do this, here's what's going to happen and you're going to receive from that. Right. You also are going to be able to get everything together. It might be your credit score, but they're also going to look at it and say, okay, you got an 800 credit score. You got a 650 credit score, but your debt to income's off. Right. We need to lose this credit card bill. We need to lose this motorcycle payment, whatever it is. Right. They're going to analyze that with you and tell you, do this exactly, and this will be the result from it. Right. That's why everybody is different. Right. You can't just throw a blanket out there and say this is how long it's going to take. It's going to take each and every person different. So again, don't get discouraged though. No. Because there's people who think that it's so far-fetched, and they're 2 weeks away from being able to purchase. I agree. There's people who can purchase right now. There's some people that we put on plans and it's 2 years. Sure. And you know what? That's totally fine.
That's fine too. Because if you don't do nothing,
I agree.
nothing's going to change.
No.
So get a plan and attack it.
One of the most satisfying things about this program, okay, is those people, I'm just going to be really honest about it, that it takes them a year.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at those people and they say, you know what? I want a change.
Yeah.
I want to be a homeowner. I want to build equity. I want to build net worth. And you watch those people go through a personal consultation.
Mm-hmm.
They get connected with the right lender that cares, that's going to help them, that's going to rescore them, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you literally see it takes these people a year and a half, 2 years, what you're saying. But they get it done. And they go from a place today. We got people sitting in their house right now listening to this podcast, driving down the road, and they're thinking, never me.
Yeah.
That person that's hearing this right now thinking, never me,
Mm-hmm.
but you call us, you visit the site, you have the consultation, and you go from never me to here I am.
Yeah.
That is rewarding.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That is a rewarding thing for us as realtors. One of the best things we do about this business is that part of it.
Yep.
But you got to start somewhere.
Yep.
You might be 2 years off, but you might be 2 weeks off.
Right.
A conversation is all that it costs for you to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Now, why do you start there? A lot of people start the other end. A lot of people start by calling us and going, hey, there's a house on First Banana Street. Let's go look at it.
Yeah.
Why don't you start there? Why don't we go do that first? You know?
Well, a lot. You've seen so many heartbreaks.
That's where it gets bad.
Seen
Those
so
people
many
that do it that way first, I think you will agree with
Yeah.
me, they never follow through to do the rest of it
No.
because their heart gets broke right off the
and
bat.
Again, let's just be real. There's a lot of people who we want stuff and we want it right now.
Right. Yeah.
I got my hand up because that's
Everybody.
me. So when you go see that house and you fall in love with that house and then you realize I'm 6 months, man.
Sure. Yeah.
You give up.
I know.
You give up
You're
and
just like,
you
I'm done.
lose your dream for a minute.
I'm done.
And a lot of times it takes you a while to rebound from that.
Right.
So again, it's just not. Can you do it that way? Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
We'll get
not,
your heart broke a lot.
You're gonna get your heart broke a lot.
Yep,
I
you're
would
gonna
not recommend that.
So when you do it this way, you have the personalized consultation, you talk with the lender, you get all that stuff. Now that's where we get to take back over.
Yeah.
It's where the fun starts now.
Yeah.
Okay. We go through the hard part of getting the money secured. And you
Yeah.
do the hard part first.
Mhm.
Okay. The fun parts now, we know the amount.
Mhm.
We know what you're going to pay down. We know what your payment's going to be. We know all that before we ever go out the door looking at a property.
Right.
Because you want to know that stuff before you ever start beating the streets trying to find this house.
End of the day, what matters to people?
Yeah.
Can I afford it?
Yeah.
That's what matters.
Let's find that out
I
first.
would go buy a house in Hawaii tomorrow
I'm with you.
if I could afford it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I have to know that first. That's me. That should be for everybody.
That's the
You need to
steps.
know.
Yeah.
How much is this going to cost me per
Yeah.
month?
Yeah.
I need to know that.
No doubt. So let's recap the whole thing and end this. The steps are to go from a renter to a homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
Step one is you got to have a desire to do it.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be a journey. Okay. You got to have a desire to do it. If you got that, you got step one. Step two is you need to connect with us.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to have a personalized consultation with you. Can be on the phone, can be in person, can be wherever, however, where you're at in the country does not matter.
No.
Okay. Go to the website we're putting on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Fill out the info. We'll connect with you. Okay. That's step two. Step three is you got the personalized consultation in step two. Step three is we're going to put you in connection with the right people.
Yep.
Get in connection with the right people. Do those things. Step four is we go looking for a house.
Yep.
You get all that out of the way. All that garbage is done. All that hard stuff done. We then go looking for a house. Step five is we close the deal on that house.
Yep.
And you go from a renter to a homeowner.
Yep.
It starts with a decision today, tomorrow, whenever that, look, I'm going to do this.
I'm ready to make a
You
change.
got to make up your mind.
Yeah.
You got to make up your mind that this is exactly what I'm going to do. So look, you want more information on the renter to homeowner program, visit the website you're seeing on the screen right now. Visit that. It's going to give you a little bit more info, but more importantly than that, fill out the information that'll come directly to me and Dave. We'll be able to reach out to you, connect with you. One of our agents will connect with you. One of our partner agents across the country. Somebody will be able to connect with you and get all of this rolling for you and get you pointed in the right directions. Maybe you've got questions. Maybe you got things. You make sure that if you've got questions, put them in the box, man.
Yeah.
Chat with us on here. We'll try to connect with you even through these videos, wherever you're watching this. Just connect with us. We're just here to try to give you some information. That is literally all that we're trying to do. But we want to see as many people as possible to take that journey from a renter to a homeowner. What do you got to say on the way out the door?
Just don't think it's impossible.
That's right.
Don't think it's impossible.
No.
There's people doing it every day.
There's single
people doing
day.
it every day. And
thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people per year will do this. It might as well be you.
Yeah.
It starts with the decision for you to be able to try. This has been the Elite Realty Group podcast presented by your friends at Elite Realty Group in Morristown, Tennessee. If you'd like to connect with us, visit us on the web at EliteRealtyGroupTN.com or call us 423-307-8566. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button and share this out with as many people on whatever platform you're listening or watching us on today. Until our next podcast, for my partner, Mr. Dave Elkins, you guys be safe, be blessed. We will see you on the next one.